Hello, this is Mr. Huff, and I want to go over a couple of things here for how to use holes or make holes with the hole tool and do hole annotation on your drawings. Just a real quick tutorial. So what we'll do is do a video together. I would suggest you do what I do and make sure you have everything you need. And then I will give you specific parameters and dimensions for the part you actually produce for me. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is make something to put holes in. So I'm going to start a sketch. Then we're going to choose, to make this fun, let's do a multi-point polygon. So I'm just going to pull a polygon out here, try to get it to lock into that, and I think 6 is good. So I just made one some random size. It doesn't tell me what the size is because it's off screen. Oh, yeah, let's add a dimension in normal to plane. And let's throw a dimension in here. Let's use a side dimension of, that's a little large. Let's do 3 inches. And that'll be a good prism to start with, so we'll have that. And then we're going to, I'm going to rotate it a little bit so you can see it. And then we're going to extrude a little bit like this. Let's go 3 inches just for fun. To make this more interesting, I'm going to right click on the part and we're going to edit appearance, and we're going to slide transparency down to about 50 or 60%. What this does is it lets us see through it a little bit. I'm also going to change it to a different color because blue is boring. All right, we're going to put a sketch on the front face of this thing, and we're going to press in for normal to plane. Move this out of the way. And now I'm going to add a circle in here. And let's do a 3-inch circle. Okay. And I meant to make that a construction line, so let's click on that and make it a construction line. That's not what I wanted. So if I choose a circle, and now we can make it a construction line. Okay. Next thing we need is a point, and I'm going to line the point up with this, with the y-axis lined up with the origin, and I have a point. Now we're going to use the circular pattern tool, which is hidden because I made this smaller. So we're going to search the tools, and we're going to type in circular pattern, okay? And I'm going to choose this point. And we're going to choose, yeah, so it's saying 3. Let's do 1 for each corner in this case. So I'm going to click that, and we're going to change that to 6. And if we look at that for each one of these, we have 1 lined up with each corner at this point. So finish the sketch. So we have several little points here. The thing is, using holes, you have to have a point to connect the hole to. If you don't have a point, it doesn't know what to do. So you always have to define a point to place a hole there. All right, I'm going to rotate this a little bit so we can see it at an angle. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And now we're going to use the hole tool, and it's not showing up because I compressed this view so I can make this video. So we're going to look for hole, and there it is right there. And then it pops up with this little view. Let's start with a simple hole first. We're going to go all the way through, and we're going to say it's ANSI standard. There are the standards you can do. We're going to use ANSI. And this one I'm just going to do drilled. And we're going to do the drill size. We'll scroll down to make it like 1/2 inch or something. There's a whole lot of stuff that you can do here. So that's a 1/2 inch. There's 1/2 inch. And I'm going to click on that top hole there, that top point. And now we have a hole drilled all the way through. If I choose more than one, I can make 3 holes all the way through real quick like that. But I want to show you some different things. So I'm going to leave those 3. And now the little sketch I had my circle on disappeared, and I kind of need to see that. So we're going to go over here and choose Show Sketch. And now I can see the sketch. So let's do a couple of other kinds of holes. So we're going to choose the hole tool. And this time we're going to choose a counter bore. And this time we're going to use blind. And this time it's going to be tapped. And the size, let's do 3/8 of an inch. And we're going to put this one right here. So let's look at these, the diagram over here on the left side so we can understand what these numbers mean. This first little line tells us how wide the hole is. So this is telling us it's 3 or 0.313 inches across. Then this one has a counter bore, so it has another hole at the top that's wider, and it says that that is 0.625 inches across. Then it has the depth of the counter bore. This is the hole at the top, and then the depth of the hole, and then how far the threading goes in, and how much is left at the end that does not get threaded at the bottom of the hole. So we're going to place this one here, and let me rotate this a little so you can see it. So it has a hole on the top, and then this is threaded, and you can see it comes to a point at the end that shows you where the drill bit ends. To make Onshape fast, they don't include the thread in this view. So Inventor shows you threads, but this one does not. So once we get that hole there, let's make it a little bit deeper. So if I want to change the depth, I'm going to find the one that shows me the depth of the hole. Right now is 0.937. Let's make that 2. And now the hole is 2 inches deep. And if I roll that, you can see that it is indeed deeper than it was before. Okay, let's do another one. So we're going to hit finish, click the hole tool, and this time instead of counter bore, we're going to do counter sink. And this time we'll do a 1/4 inch and threads per inch. Okay, TPI means threads per inch. That means that this is a fine thread, set it at 32. That means every inch it has 32 times around. So if you turn that screw one time, it's going to go in 1/32 of an inch. Let's put this one here. And you can see the top has a counter bore. What this does is if you tighten a screw into this hole, it will end up being flat across the top because it has the counter bore. Again, you can see where the drill bit ends right here. It's pointed. And it's a similar kind of measurement. One of the things you can change here is you can change the angle at the top and the diameter across the top. So that's not too much to worry about. So let's do one more just because we can. All right, we're going to do one more hole. This time we're going to do, we'll do a countersink, and then we'll do blind. It's fine. We're going to do a clearance hole, and it's got a 1/4 inch. Let's go to a 1/2 inch clearance hole right here. We're going to put it on this dot. And it's got a counter bore. Let's make this one go all the way through. And that is that. Okay, so I've put 6 holes in this thing of different styles, and we're ready to make the part. So I named this holes for video, and I started a drawing here called video example. So what we need to do now is place our view, and I'm going to insert, and I have a bunch of things I've been working on. So let's find the one we just made. Here's the one we just made. And I want to be looking at this from the front. 1/3 is a little bit small. So I'm going to hit escape, and I'm going to double click on that view. And let's change it to 1/2. So I want it to be a little bit bigger so we can see what's going on. All right. Now we're going to project from this view to the right. I would just want to show the thickness. Another thing I want to do on this view, once I get it placed, I'm going to hit escape and then I'm going to right click and choose show hidden lines. And that's going to let me see the screws from the side, or the holes, not the screws. Okay. And next we need to annotate these holes. So one of the things we have to show is we have to show the center points. And again, it has hidden the stuff I need to do. Center mark. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to go to each one of these and we're going to click on the center. Actually, you just click on the edge and it shows the center mark. There's the center mark. Center mark. Okay, I usually run my Onshape in full screen and I'm having to shrink it down so that I can make videos that are more clear. And when I have the condensed toolbar, I lose things. So to find the whole notes, we need to click on the drop down here by the datum and it'll say whole callout. And if you wanted to search for that, it would be a whole callout. So we're going to do a whole callout. And what we're going to do is zoom out a little bit. All you have to do is click on the edge of the hole and drag up here and click one time and it places that view. Always angle leader lines, never go horizontal or vertical. It'll give you some guidance as far as where to put them, but main thing we want to see is that you don't have things overlapping. So we have a little bit of angle there. And let's say that we do overlap a little there. So I'm going to click that one and I'll show you how to fix that in just a moment. So if you leave it like that, I'm going to take off points. Just know that. And here's our last one. Alright, what I'm going to do to fix that is I'm just going to grab the view and drag it over. And now we've got it. Okay. If this were a circle, I would want to do a diameter measurement, but it's not a circle, so we're just going to grab this and pull it out to the side a little bit, make sure my 3 is centered. And then I'm also going to grab the thickness here and pull that out, make sure the 3 is centered. Good to go. Alright, that's essentially how to do your drawing. So I kind of don't like this overlap here. So let's pull this one down more in this area here, maybe. That's a little better. Still cluttery. But that's the essential of what we need. So something like this is what you'll produce for me. Alright, that's all of it for whole notes.